What I've learned from Prudentials overall has been a lot, and it'd be really long to tell you everything that I have learned from the Prudentials team, from the Prudentials motivators around us, from the Prudential mentors, and so I'd like to just bring out a few specifics. From Prudentials, I learned how to carry myself. I learned how to walk with poise and talk with passion. I learned how to speak to people as if I were, as big as them and not just a 4'7" tall girl. I learned that heels give you power, but my favorite out of all of them would have to be I learned how to speak. I learned how to communicate with people. I learned how to present myself through my voice. As an example, I was signing up for the debate team. I just got accepted to Grand Canyon University, and one of the options was to sign up for the speech and debate team. Now, I got the application from my school counselor at Grand Canyon, and I filled it out and I sent it in. And it gave me a date to show up for an audition. So I came, I used everything Prudentials taught me. I dressed in my heels, I dressed to impress, and I went. And they looked at me like, "Who are you?" And I looked at them like, "Hi, I'm Cassidy-Rae, I'm here for my audition for the debate team," and "We'll see you in a minute." "All right, sorry." And I sat there and I waited and I waited and I waited. And finally they called me in and they told me that you had to be invited to audition for the debate team, and that they hadn't looked at my application, so I was not invited, but if I could give them a quick interview. This interview meant so much, because if they did not like my interview, I was not going to get on the team. So I spoke to them as efficiently and professional as I possibly could, exact way that Prudentials taught me, exact way that I would do in any other situation, and they fell in love because they called me back. They told me they were so impressed, and I was the only freshman that they called back and were interested in.
Being a leader of the Prudential team really helped me in leadership. And I took that away and I went straight to work in a construction job, and I immediately was noticed. They knew I had a lot of leadership skills. They knew that I could get stuff done. And how I did that was I knew everybody's skills. I had to get to know my team. And I knew their ups and downs. And I was able to coordinate everybody and get a job done. And my boss instantly promoted me within 3 months, and just because of that reason, because of my leadership and my confidence.
What I contributed, I think, most of all to the Prudential Leads team was motivation. I was labeled the motivator. So when I came and I met all the other kids from Prudentials, and I told them, I'm a motivator, I really want to motivate you. And I felt like then the whole team became a motivator in itself. Through that, all of the things that we did in Prudentials and through JAG, we did a career development conference where I was the MC, and I got to use those motivational skills that I learned. I also was the table decorator and decorating of the whole luncheon that we had for the career development conference. And that I did give my wholehearted self to, but it gave me a lot more. I learned a lot of responsibility. I learned time management. I learned how to speak up in front of a whole crowd, which has helped me today greatly. I learned how to present myself.
I am a cadre leader alumni of JAG, which is now known as a Prudential leader. It was an amazing opportunity. I got to meet so many people. I had so many great friends I made out of them. 4 boys, 4 girls in my cadre leader group. As many of the other cadre leaders had the great opportunity of going to Washington, D.C., doing a conference, seeing some amazing, inspiring leaders, just learning from different people, and it really inspired confidence in a lot of us to go out and become people just like them or better than them. We knew that we could become someone if you really work hard at it. And being a cadre leader, that's an amazing feeling. I mean, you are, as a cadre leader, you're chosen out of all of the JAG students in Arizona. You are the leaders of JAG. And it teaches you how to be that and how to be such, to where you're a leader in your own life now.
So I've had the chance to be in the Prudential Leads team, which is only 9 of us got selected out of the whole state from JAG, and we got the chance to go to a 1-week trip to Washington, D.C., and, well, that trip was amazing. I visited the Capitol, a lot of monuments. We got the chance to go inside the White House, and, well, experiences like this don't come every day.
The best experience I had was being able to turn a difficulty into a positive. I remember being a Prudential leader was huge for me. I mean, the confidence you take away from it is just on a different level, honestly. By far the best experience I had, but one funny story I would have is it was about 2 years ago at the CDC, Miss May. She actually came up to me. I was just supposed to be there to help out, pass out flyers or something, being a former JAG student graduating. What ended up happening is one of the presenters actually didn't end up showing. So what it was is last minute, I remember she came up to me and asked me and said, "Hey David, is there any way that you could help lead one of the classes," which was about 30, 50 people big, you know, and go ahead and do a presentation and just run it. And I said, "Sure, no problem." So it was funny, you know, but the only reason why I was able to do that was just because of the confidence I really took away from being a Prudential leader. You know, it doesn't really seem like anything that's thrown at you. You always have to see it as opportunity. What was funny is, you know, after I took over the class and really just kind of had fun with it, it was by far one of the greatest experiences I had, but also a lot of positive reviews from everyone that went in. So it was a really cool story.
Lastly, I'd like to give a big thank you to all of the Prudentials who came and met with us 9, in the 2012 conference that we had in November. You guys were so amazing. You guys were motivational. You guys were inspiring. You guys were the perfect people, but not, you know, not perfect in a whole, but perfect. I want to be a lawyer. That's my main goal. And I wanted to be a lawyer since probably about the 5th or 6th grade for personal reasons. And I've always had that in my head. But meeting you guys and the lobbyists in there just made my brain expand so much. And again, it was crazy because I went in, you know, knowing that I want to be a lawyer, and I came out thinking of all the possibilities that I could do, you know. Getting my business degree is what I'm getting at Grand Canyon University. And with that, I'd like to go to law school after that. But who knows, maybe I'd like to become a judge. Maybe I'd like to become a congressman. Maybe I would like to work on Capitol Hill one day, as you all amazing people did. So overall from you, I'd like to thank you so much for the inspiration that you created in my head and in my mind. And you showed me that it is possible to succeed, and it is possible to do right and enjoy what you're doing. So just thank you so much for all the advice and all the wisdom that you shared, the time that you spent out of your day with us students, and thank you for all of it that you have invested into us young people today.